Excuse me, guys. Hi, everyone. Welcome along to Sunday Market Analysis Show. It's my name is Paul Botchell, and it's my great pleasure to have you along with us today. Just working our way onto the various streaming platforms that follow us, and I'm going to get underway straight away. Let's get into this. I might need to get rid of that. Look, it's been a fascinating week in the markets, so we're going to talk about the week ahead, but in the week just gone, we first of all saw Bitcoin make a run up around 11,000. I don't have that number because I'm on my my Fusion chart for the pop account doesn't have the crypto, but I'll have a look at my live account a little bit later on and give you guys a bit of an update on that. But around 11,000 from memory. A bit different doing the stuff on the laptop. The boxes get in the way a little bit. Looks good to have your company. Been a really interesting week for mine, and a really interesting week around stock markets particularly. And I know we're a forex trading education company, but I still like to have a look at this stuff. And look, for mine, right now I'm going to say that this bar is pretty important. And we've seen a same low, so same high. So we've seen this market run up. We've seen it pull down aggressively on the NASDAQ. Now consolidate, and it's closed on the bottom, and it does look to me as if the NASDAQ maybe about to range. We are on serious support here. You can see the level coming through here, highs here, lows there, and Monday morning is going to be fascinating for this. We get a 4-hour close below this level, and all honesty, certainly here 10,350 comes into picture, and potentially I would have thought that 9767 comes into focus pretty quickly here if we get a close under this level on a 4-hour or daily chart. Similar type story with the S&P in the week that's just gone. Again, for me, this bar pretty influential. Now on the S&P, we've got a high here and a lower high here. We've got a low here. I'm going to call it the same low here. I'm going to say again, looks a little range bound, but if we got a little close below this sort of area here, then again, we would see some targets come into play pretty quickly. Hey, Geoff, nice to have you on board. I'm not sure. Yep, we're okay. Certainly this kind of level here would come and play on the S&P 3276. And if we bring in a little bit more data, and this one here would be a clear target, 3229. So again, really looking for closes below these levels on 4-hour daily charts, or another lower high on either the S&P or NASDAQ, popping up, giving us another lower high and having another run at this, and I would be starting to get pretty bearish. So interesting week. On the other hand, gold continues to do absolutely nothing and run completely sideways. Got to say, I'm pleased to have our resident gold expert, Ainslie, coming in to do this one for me a bit later in the day. I will just move that over there. And what I am going to do here, I'm just going to jump on my chart. I'm just going to change my background color. It's a little bit lighter. It's a little bit hard to see some of this stuff. There we'll go white on that background. And here's what I'm going to show you on this for mine. And again, for mine, often at the start of ranges, there's a bar that controls it. And this is that bar for me. You could argue it's this bar here. There's still been, let me show you the triangles here. I'm talking about the rectangle I'm talking about. If you want for gold, we can use this bar here. I'll tell you what, I'll change that background color again, because that's the same color as the, just looking for a lighter gray. We'll try that. We've still got no closes below the low of this, so you could use that bar here. But what I'm going to do with gold is I'm going to say that I think the bar that really put us into this range was here, and that really we need to get a break of this bar before we have direction on gold. And often at the start when you're looking at ranges, you'll generally see an extension bar and a decisive bar like that. A bar like that or a bar like that opens at the top, closes at the bottom. There's no mucking around it where it's going, and then the market starts to fight it out. So fascinating week for mine. NASDAQ looks weak, rangy to weak. S&P rangy to weak. Gold looks rangy. Euro, wow, it just continued to do absolutely nothing as well. And again, You can see the box that we're in here, and I think we can tighten it up a little bit. I think maybe, you know, pop up to around here on that box here. But still nothing going on with the euro, and for mine, I need to break out of that out of these levels before I can get interested in trading this as a direction. You know, often they tell us that the direction it goes into, it'll come out in the same direction, which means going up, which makes buying the bottom of the range an option with TP1 at the top. But I wouldn't be doing that. I'll be looking for a failed breakout to get me into this. Failed breakout short, close back in the bar above the break bar. That could interest me. Julian was talking about that in one of our sessions earlier on. Dollar yen is the different one. Dollar yen didn't do nothing. It got on with it, and has also now broken down. And when you bring in some data here, has broken down to what is clearly a pretty important level here. Bottom of this extension here tested, and has at this stage held. I'll put the level on for you guys. And, you know, that's a, we've only really seen one close below that on dollar yen for quite a while now. That's March, but even if we go back a little bit further than that, closes below our level are pretty uncommon, and not a lot of support sitting around for dollar yen, you know, not a lot of support sitting around for dollar yen at all. Interesting to see also here, we've closed on this old historic low. So Monday morning, again, interesting time. I don't think Monday morning is a big trading time for me as I look at this week. I just think I want to see here. Look, we get a bounce here, a close above this. You know, you could interest me that this might be a low, and I might have a chance to trade a little bit of a retracement up to around this level here before I go short again. You get a break and close below this level, and I think we're heading potentially down around here. Okay, I'll just put that level on for you guys so you can have a look at it. So, as I said, it's been an interesting week, but it lays up for an even better week. And for mine, here comes the Kiwi, another dark background here. I'm going to leave it. And again, what's fascinating for the Kiwi is where it got to. Now, the Kiwi up here, I can't actually read that. 67.59. Some decent money on the Kiwi. And again, what I'll do is I'll bring in some data. And what you see is we haven't been above it for a while. That's that high there. Let's bring on a weekly chart. And, you know, you go back here to 2019 before we saw the Kiwi above this. Coming off some pretty big lows too. So interesting weeks ahead. And I would watch the Forex Factory news for the Kiwi dollar on Tuesday with the interest rate rights. I'll talk about that as we get into that in a few seconds. We're going to share that with you guys next. Let's have a look at, as we should start every week in my view, what's coming up on Forex Factory. Let me see if that'll get me into where I want to go. I don't know if it will. Let me just find out why. Oh, there we go. We'll go there, and we'll go there. So Forex Factory, this is the free news page, one of the popular ones. I often use the Fusion Markets one, but it doesn't appear to update over the weekends. So interesting stuff in the week ahead. We start off with this bank holiday in Japan on Monday. And while the markets will be open, while the Japanese markets closed, it does potentially provide a bit of an opportunity for us to break through. These times are Singapore times. So interesting then, Powell. He's got a ridiculous week. And Geoff, you may have some more idea. Wouldn't mind having Ashton for this. What a crazy week Powell has. So he speaks on Monday, fair enough. Bank holiday Tuesday in Japan again. That makes me think that yen could get pretty weak without the Japanese there to buy it. Bank of England Governor Bailey speaks. Fed Chairman Powell testifies. New Zealand dollar official cash rate, well, it's going to stay at 0.25, but I think this statement could be really interesting. The Reserve Bank of New Zealand is clearly instructing the banks to get ready for negative interest rates and has a clear intention to go there. Now, they won't go to zero while they can't go to minus 2.5 because they're stuck. They want a little bit left in reserve. So they've left that little bit there. But when they have the ability to go to minus 2.5 or minus 5, I think minus 2.5 is their target. I think we'll definitely see a cash rate roll down to zero in New Zealand. If they were to signal that clearly on Wednesday morning New Zealand time, I have a feeling that we would see a bit of a sell coming in the Kiwi. Certainly, we have got the Kiwi popping up on good coronavirus news on Friday, but the news over the weekend isn't quite so good on the coronavirus front, with an infection from someone discharged from our quarantine system, apparently after 14 days. But you can guarantee with our government, we'll find out at some stage that they will let go early or weren't tested properly. One of those two things will happen, and I think that might spook the market a little bit as well, given how much coronavirus news has impacted on the New Zealand dollar. The French flash services PMI, don't worry about the word flash, that won't be that flash at all. German the same, manufacturing and services number, interesting numbers these. US dollar flash manufacturing PMI. Look, Fed Chairman Powell testifies. So he's spoken, then he's testified, then he testifies, then he testifies. Busy week. We must do some work on if he's really doing all this stuff. Look, Swiss National Bank monetary policy assessment, that'll be interesting as well. There is a little bit of talk in the market that the Swiss are looking to get involved with currency control again. I'm a skeptic. I can't see them doing that after the disaster that it was last time, but it's possible. Fed Chair Powell testifies again, and Treasury Secretary Munkin speaks. So interesting week. And then obviously good news for everybody else, bad news for me. Daylight savings comes in New Zealand on Saturday night, which means that I'll be 5 hours ahead instead of Singapore and up even later at night trading. But for everybody else, New Zealand, good news as that comes in. Key news in the week ahead for me, anytime Fed Chairman Powell speaks is pretty important. If he is going to do all this stuff, that could be for a pretty interesting week. I think RBNZ rate statement, the official cash rate's a done deal, but in my humble opinion, but I think the rate statement's pretty interesting stuff, to be honest. I'd have a little bit of interest as well in that Swiss National Bank monetary policy assessment. There is some talk about what they're going to do. And Bank of England Governor Bailey speaks. A bit of talk about from him, a bit of interest in him as well with the Brexit stuff. Looking a lot like the Brexit stuff, actually. Complete indecision and a mess. It looks exactly like it always does. But getting closer to a deadline, we may see some comments around that from Governor Bailey. So that is me, and that is us through some fundamentals. It's time for me to welcome. Hey Geoff, how you doing, by the way?
Yeah, going well, mate. Having a fine old time here. Lots of bamboo stuff going on, I can tell you.
Lots of mate. And someone told me a few years ago that was the industry to get into.
Would that have been me?
It was you, mate. It was you. No question about it.
Well, don't believe everything you hear, mate.
Mate, I'm going to jump in and make some people, some hosts and some co-hosts, etc. in a few minutes. I'm picking that Paul Hutton is the other one that's coming on the joint link today. PH, you with us?
Hi, Paul. Hi, Geoff. How you going?
G'day, PH.
Hey, mate. Nice to see you, buddy.
Yeah, hey, good to be here.
PH, I did a mentorship event earlier on today with Ainslie and Julian, and someone asked me if we could do a little bit of analysis on the pound and the cable. Are either of those in your session for today?
I do have. I am looking at the euro pound today.
I'm looking at the pair.
Yes.
Look, when you're done, and we might have a chat about euro as a group here. So if you can do your analysis, we might have a chat with the team about their thoughts on either euro or pound. We might do a bit of analysis on one of those at the end as well.
Sure
I
thing.
did tell the guy earlier on that we would cover it, the guy or the girl,
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yep.
But I'd like to cover it. Mate, if you're ready to go, I'm going to hand over to you, jump off camera. I'm going to make some people hosts and co-hosts for later in the show. I'm going to check into YouTube and Facebook and welcome everybody and answer any questions you guys have got there. Mate, it's interesting week last week for mine. If the world is following US equities, they look soft to me, PH. First time in a while.
Oh, well, we've been waiting. We've been talking about this for a long time, right? And finally, we're starting to see some profit taking in some of these, at least some of the indices starting to come down. Yeah, and oil's had a bit of a response to that as well. But those are not the first two charts that I'm going to look at today. Definitely keen to come back to that conversation in a while.
I did a roundup of stuff when we started. I talked about Bitcoin, NASDAQ, S&P, Euro, Yen, and gold. I didn't talk about oil, which reclosed that old gap. It had another pop out, which was interesting for mine. So maybe when Ping Nee joins us later on, he might take us through the gold stuff in a bit more.
Yeah. Yes,
back
for
to you.
sure. Sure thing. I'm just about to take over the screen. Looks like I've got the superpowers already, and you should be able to see my screen now. Let me just, I'll just got another
Can
window. I'm going to close up here. You can see, all right?
can see your screen, mate. You're all good
All
to
right.
go.
So look, I've got two currency pairs that are the most interesting to me chart wise, and they're both crosses. The first one is New Zealand Swiss. Now, New Zealand dollar, I'm always watching the Aussie versus the Kiwi, and New Zealand dollar has been doing well relatively against the Aussie. So I would be favouring longs generally on the New Zealand dollar pairs if I can find them. And the best one for me right now is this New Zealand Swiss franc. Now, I'm looking at the weekly chart here, and what is interesting for me is, okay, so yes, we've been on the medium term, we've been in a downtrend for quite some time. We've popped back up here, and we've made a higher low here on the weekly chart. And we have also, last week, we had pretty much, it's not exactly a bullish engulfing, but at least from the body aspect, the body of last week's weekly candle did engulf the body of the week before. And, okay, we didn't get the highs and the lows engulfing each other, but this is a decisive move for me on the weekly chart. And we're also right at this trend line here. So this trend line, I've drawn it according to, I hope Geoff would, approve of me drawing the trend line in this way. I've got as many pip perfect touches as I could find, and there is one break of the trend line which I've allowed there. I've considered that to be a false break back in December 2019. So this trend line, I think, is itching to be broken again. It's been tested already twice in the last couple of weeks, and on the daily chart, I've got a couple of other things that I like. So one of the things that I like is just bringing this trend line down and drawing it on the daily chart. It's a slightly different trend line, but we've actually broken it once and we've broken it again. So I think this, if we come back and revisit this trend line here, the small blue one, I think that's a place where buyers are going to jump into this. The other thing that I really like about it is look at the 200-day moving average. Yes, it's flat, but we're above it, right? And whilst we're above the 200-day, generally, I'm looking for prices to go higher in this kind of situation. The third thing I like about this is, and actually I don't have pencils and whatever here, so but I'll just indicate it for you with some trend lines. Check this out. Okay, so there is a cup. Yep. And here on a slightly smaller time frame, okay, less candles, meaning, all right, we've got a handle. So we've got a built-in higher low here on the Kiwi Swissy, and so what happens with the cup and handle pattern is it typically will break the rim of the cup, which you could probably draw there, or in fact we might have broken it already, and that rim of the cup then gets broken, and we go more or less the same distance as what you see as the depth of the cup as well. So just measuring that roughly, let's say 250 pips, that would take us up to, just a second. Let's be conservative and say we broke it there. Takes us up to the horizontal level and beyond, about maybe 263.70, 63.80. Okay, so that's a likely scenario that may unfold for the Kiwi Swissy. Just for me, looking at the potential resistance levels, okay, I've got support there at about 60.50, and I've got resistance at 62.25 or so. So that would be my first take profit level. And if I can get through that resistance level, which the recent bullish price action makes me feel that that's quite likely, then there might be a second take profit level at 63.25 or so. And as you can see on the weekly chart, there's a few touches on that level there. So that could become a decent resistance level, a scale out level for me. So that's the New Zealand Swiss. Second chart that I've got to look at here is the Euro Pound. So I'll just go ahead and present what I see on the Euro Pound, and then we can come back and people can ask some questions and make some comments on these. Here's the weekly chart for the Euro Pound. Look, it's been a great currency for me over the past few months. Managed to get some buying opportunities in here, and again we're looking at a weekly chart here, so the price action is quite compressed, but there was some nice winning trades there back in the second quarter of the year. Then it went into a bit of consolidation, and it's basically retraced as much as it could retrace, and it has benefited from all this nonsense that's been going on with the pound. Benefited quite significantly, and it's made a higher high. I really like the fact that we're above the 90 level, which is a very important psychological level for this pair, and we're below the 92.64 level. So if I zoom out here, you can see this currency pair hasn't been above this level. 92.64. It hasn't been above this level since 2008. Yeah. And we've only got data that goes back to 1999, but that's a very, very important level for the Euro Pound. And it's tested this level now 1, 2, 3, false break. Let's call that a false break, 4, 5 times over the last maybe 4 years. And then we've just had another test of that level in the last couple of weeks. Yes, we've pulled back from it, but look at the daily chart here. Here's some nice things about the daily chart, right? Bounced off the 200-day moving average. So, and with momentum, I really like that push up. And of course, look, I got a chance to. I was looking for a spec long on here, around here, and I got it. And rode it up to 90 and then beyond. Didn't ride the whole thing, but unfortunately, it's impossible to pick the bottoms and the tops. But look where it's come back to. We've got a really important trend line break here, and we've retested the trend line. Now, will we take off immediately from here? My guess is that's not necessarily the case, but if we do consolidate between where we are now and maybe this level of around 90.60, my guess is that buying interest will come back into this, and we will come back and retest this level 92.64. If we can break 92.64, I don't know where it can go to. It's one of those things where if you break previous highs, and of course we've got this like spike at 95 something, but that would be the next logical level. But beyond 95, I don't know, we could end up going to parity on the Euro Pound. That's not something that is necessarily going to happen overnight. But again, all this nonsense with the pound and the Brexit saga, we've seen big moves in the pound over the last couple of years. So anything is possible, and I would like to be on the right side of this trade. That's a little bit of analysis on those two currency pairs for me, the two that I'll be watching in the coming week. Any questions? Any thoughts?
PH, we're on multiple social media at the moment, so I'm just keeping an eye on the various chats to see if anything comes in as far as questions. Nothing at the moment on YouTube. Remember, guys, if you like the show, don't forget to like the show, and if you can subscribe to the YouTube channel at the moment, that would be great. We're trying to get 1,000 YouTube subscribers, so the algorithm will be a little bit more friendly to us, which we think it should be, because we think we're friendly people and it should be friendly back.
Cool.
We are, mate, I'm just trying to jump in for some reason on one of the channels. I've just lost us. I don't really know why. But let me have a look on the others. Questions, looks okay.
I'm looking at Zoom. I'm watching the Zoom chats here, but I don't see anything.
Cheers, mate. Look, I have been working pretty hard on the social media, mate. So what were the two currencies we had a look at? We had a look at Euro Pound.
Yeah, Euro Pound and New Zealand Swiss. New
Interesting,
Zealand
mate.
Swiss. Yeah, a bit of a cup and handle going on there,
Yep, yep,
and a trend line break already.
yep.
So yes, look, the Kiwi could be in for a bit of a rough ride this week because of the RBNZ news. But I'm at least on Monday and Tuesday, I think it's gonna go higher from here.
Looking for the pop up. Nice, like it a lot.
Mm.
And you said Euro GBP might get to parity.
You heard that, did you? Well, look, okay, back on the weekly chart, this is what I was pointing out, right? So look at the history of the Euro Pound.
Yep.
It has been as high as 98, right? Let's call that 98. The most recent high was 95, and it didn't stay there for long. It came all the way up and got a nosebleed, came all the way down very fast. But I think if this 92.64 level gets broken, that could be a key, sea change for Euro Pound. It hasn't really been above that level since 2016, and hasn't stayed above that level since 2008. So if the euro gets some legs on it, if the pound continues to be in the toilet, then breaking that level. Typically, when it breaks those levels, it doesn't just hang around; it goes. So that's what I'm hoping for on this.
Mate, that'll be interesting. Let's, which ones should we have a look at, mate? We'll ask the team if they want to join in. Which ones should we have a look at? Should we have a look at cable or euro?
Oh, you mean on the majors?
Let's have the team have a chat about one. Anyone that wants to join us? I know Geoff's in the room. You're in the room. Julian's in the room. Then we had someone in the earlier show, so we could talk about opportunities in euro and euro.
Okay.
I'm interested to.
Well, okay, this is the daily chart for the euro and the weekly chart for the euro. I've got to say this is about as exciting as watching paint dry at the moment. Let me open up the gold. The gold. Gold is pretty boring too. The pound chart. Yeah, a bit more action here, right?
Yeah.
200 saved us for a while, but Friday was a little bit bearish. I think, I think the pound is a more interesting chart here with some downside possibilities. We see a lower low. So is the end of the week's price action, is that a lower high? I think it's a little bit too early to call that a lower high. I'd like to see it maybe come back up and test around this level of about 131 or so, high 130s.
Interesting for mine, just having seen the charts for like a couple of seconds, right?
Mm.
I reckon on the daily chart, it doesn't look like it's stopped here, but boy, on the weekly chart, it does. Can you pop us back over that weekly chart?
Yeah, sure. The weekly chart.
That is not interesting. That is at some level of resistance, right where it is right now. So,
True.
And I couldn't see it on the daily chart, but on the weekly chart, so that does interest me a little bit. So, again, for me right now, I'm at the stage where I just feel like Monday morning is a wait and see kind of thing. If we got a 4-hour bounce bar here, I'd be pretty interested in getting short. And if we've got a 4-hour bar that was decisive, closed above the high of Friday, then I would think we've got a bit of space to go on the upside yet. So, it's certainly, boy, it's.
Well, we've got that. Okay, so there's a low test bar in there. It's not in the place where we normally expect low test bars to be, but I think if we break this little, these 3 wicks here at around about 130. See, 130 is hang on, let me just draw that level in, because that is a really important level on the pound. 130 is a psychological level. It's a round number. So yeah, if we got a daily close above that level, I would say long. Yep. And if let's say we come back up and test it again and we reject it, I think that would be a really good indication of downside.
Yeah, look, one of the things that Julian often talks about is when they've got it wrong. And the longs are wrong for mine below Friday's bar, maybe below Wednesday's bar, but for mine below Friday's bar. So I'll be interested. Julian, got any view on cable? By the way, PH, you picked the right chart. I think pound's a lot more than the euro.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I think so my comments around cable are not very specific to that currency, but I think there's something else that happened last week. Is that I viewed last week, when you go look at quite a number of charts, as being corrective from the previous couple of weeks' trends. And maybe that's what's happening. So which supports your thesis, Paul, that I think probably, again, looking below Thursday's chart, I'd have a bit of a problem. That's the point where everybody's been caught. At the moment, that just looks like an inside bar to me. And there's we're trying to figure out the direction for Friday. So I would actually probably, to be honest with you, go with Thursday's high and low as a potential breakout in either direction.
Look, it's credit to the guys with the trading software, isn't it? That's a auto-written horizontal level. They've done the job beautifully, haven't they? That horizontal level comes stock standard with our trading software, and they have got that, and has done for a while. They've got that in a beautiful spot, haven't they? Got Geoff in the room. Geoff, any thoughts on cable?
Yeah, I do. And the thought is very, very much based on the dog that is known as the US dollar currently, and the other one, which is the pound, which is toss a coin right now, as far as I'm concerned. The pound has suffered dramatically since 2008. That level that Paul pointed out before has been very, very much a testing point since we broke through it and then came back below it. And we can't get it back above that level. So I don't see why we should right now, frankly. But I don't think we're in a technically perfect world with the pound and the US dollar currently, because I think both of them, or the dollar's a dog. It can't rally. It's tried its heart out and it just can't. And the pound is under extreme pressure because of their prime minister at the end of the day, and Brexit talks failing. So I don't know. I'm really, from a biased point of view, I've got to be long pound US dollar, but can you trust the pound and can you trust the dollar at the moment? I'm leaving them both alone this week, frankly.
So we're doing forex technical analysis right now with the team, and we will see. We've got Geoff in the room. We've got Ainslie in the room. Ainslie, any thoughts on cable for you?
It's just going sideways. I can't pick it. I can't pick it. Sorry. I just no. There's no direction. It's up, it's down, it's sideways, and then the fundamentals are so strong at the moment. With the latest over the weekend was prepare for a second wave of coronavirus. What does that do?
I don't know how some of these countries keep calling it the second wave. We can prepare for the third time they've had a second wave in the UK for coronavirus. It just seems like
no. The first one was just overextended, and they didn't know what to do about it. But I think that's what they were calling it. But they were saying that they're coming into winter as well. So we're looking at a nice balmy 29 degrees here tomorrow, by the way. But and Melbourne is coming out of their second wave. But look at this. I mean, seriously.
Does anyone know where we are with the Brexit vote? Did they pass that on?
I don't know where they are with the Brexit vote.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Honestly, I said at the start of the show that at the moment Brexit looks a lot like Brexit, where just no one seems to have a clue. They just all look like a bunch of incompetents to me. You think they can sort, and people always say, look, they're going to sort something out, and I'm sure they are, but boy, they're determined to make it as difficult as they possibly can. It doesn't inspire much confidence.
Give them time, mate. They give them time. We're coming up to 5 years.
Yeah, well, mate, they're coming up to another deadline, aren't they?
Well, there's supposed to be a Boris deadline, I think, in a week or so, but the absolute deadline is December 31st, as I understand it. Yeah.
I thought they had to have an agreement before that. 31st is Action Day. I think they've got to have an agreement before. I'm not on Google to have a look right now. I'll come back to you on that. But there's some forex technical analysis on cable. PH, anything else from you?
No, I mean, I haven't prepared it as a chart, but I really do like the downside potential on the US dollar yen. But I figured any of the other traders would probably talk about it.
Let's do the same thing, mate. I'm into my technical analysis right now. We're forex traders, and We get so much stuff. We've got stuff coming up. We've got our gold expert coming up. We've got our oil expert coming up. We've got our cryptocurrency expert coming up. We've got Julian coming up to talk about market overviews. Let's go around the team again and have a look at this. Have a look at this US dollar yen chart, because I do like it. I think that is an interesting spot. And Julian, you've been the world's biggest dollar yen bear for a long time, and mate, there's not much holding this for a pretty big drop.
Yeah, Paul, it's quite interesting. Is that a weekly chart you've got there?
That's a weekly chart.
That's a weekly chart, yeah.
That one up.
Hey, Jules, turn your volume up.
All you guys moving houses and buying houses, it's hard to get up with your stuff.
All over the shop. All over the shop. Oh my God.
On dollar yen. That closing price on dollar yen for the week. It's like years since we've had a price down here, right?
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
True.
What you're saying, sorry, Julian, you say close down here, right? It's years since we've had a close down here.
Down here a couple of times before, but in terms of closes, we haven't done many closes down here on the weekly chart for years. The last, I'm just going on the, well, okay, so the last time was 2016 on the monthly, and on the weekly it's here. So interestingly, we're only a couple of big figures away from putting a multi-month, that's first time since 2014, low in the yen. That would be really cool. Hey, I'm still bearish on dollar yen. How does that sound? There's my strap line.
Right, we're going to come and we are doing live Forex right now. We're doing live Forex. And but one of the things, Julian, the thing, and I'm going to go around the team on this, but the thing that stands out for me is that if it breaks this level, there ain't much holding it for quite a way. You know, it could go for a bit of a trip, couldn't it? I mean, we do have some lows to come up and big lows to deal with. But between us and those lows, there's a bit of space, right?
Yeah, look, and so we were just talking about this in my trading group. We're discussing potential reasons as to why it was happening. Sometimes it's nice to actually have some justification on a multi-week move for the reasons why things are occurring. And actually, I believe my sense is here that a lot of people have been in Japan, have been playing the American growth trade in the stock market to get more performance out of their portfolios. And the last week, I know it's coincided with a prime minister in Japan, but realistically, prime ministers in Japan are traditionally very boring people who survive for about 18 months. So that isn't normally a newsworthy thing, but let's assume that it's a catalyst, and the move back to value that's starting to take place across American stock markets means that the Nikkei is benefiting at the moment as they move back to value. Now, normally when a currency strengthens, the stock market tends to weaken, or certainly underperforms other stock markets. Well, that isn't the case at the moment. The last few days, the Nikkei's held together quite well, which suggests to me that people are bringing money home. And if they're bringing money home, it's not going to stop for a while.
Mate, I think that's pretty reasonable, mate. I really do. I'm just having a look at some key dates for Brexit. So I'll see if I can get those up in a minute. Okay, so
Julian, I've got a question on that topic, because often when you see the currency fall, you see the stock market rise. So it's like a negative correlation. But in this case, we're seeing the yen strengthen significantly. But you're saying that you feel like the Nikkei is going to at least hold its own and possibly continue to rise as people repatriate money back into Japan, and they need to put it somewhere, right? And if the stock market's buoyant, then that's a likely place for it to go.
Yep, nailed it. That's exactly what I'm thinking right now. That's not a reason for me to change my, to trade. It's a justification for trading, but it's not the reason why I trade, Paul. But I think it's quite an important factor that would it adds fuel to the fire of the dollar yen sell-off. So if we're going to test all of these lows and put what I consider to be a breakout low in place, then this is really the way to do it. You would construct this argument as people brought money, in which case there's no bottom to this, right? It goes down to 102 par, easy. Easy.
Right, you can put it all down. Sorry, Ainslie.
The high correlation between the dollar yen and gold is not apparent at the moment, because you can see the dollar yen just heading south. And with gold, we've got it going sideways quite dramatically. So it's on another pathway. So I know we've talked about in the past about how dollar yen and gold are inversely correlated. This doesn't apply, guys, at the moment. So just hang tight.
Cheers, Ainsley. Geoff, thoughts on dollar yen?
Yeah, we got into this during the week.
We're doing live work, mate. You got into this already. Nice.
Yeah.
Look at
Well,
that.
because if you have a look at the stop it, the massive the massive selling bar about 2 weeks ago,
Yep.
it engulfed just about everything backwards and forward for the longest time. It's pretty,
Just on the daily chart,
yeah,
Geoff,
daily chart.
You're talking about this one here,
That one right there, mate.
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So to me, that was a breakout. That was a breakout candle. So you could trade that either way, long or short, didn't matter. And it has now broken short of that. And the reason was it engulfed something like 19 bars prior and 14 bars post. So I figured that this is going to go one way or the other, and it's going to break out with a fair bit of potency. And we didn't actually trade the long. We only traded the short because we thought that was the way it was going to go. So we're into that. Yep. Happy. And if you guys are right, then we should get a fairly decent trade out of that.
Nice. Anyone else in the team want to have a chat about dollar yen? We're doing live Forex technical analysis. We are at it right now. Anyone from the team want to jump in before we move along on this?
No, I'm good.
Okay, look, I'm going to hand this over to Julian now as our guest. Julian, you've had a busy day. Thanks for coming in earlier with Ainslie to do the mentorship event where we talked about all kinds of interesting stuff, and including your broadcast group and results, mate. They are awesome. What are you looking at this week?
Thanks, Paul. Look, I think for me, the key thing this week is that I'm going to look at last week to give myself the clue for this week. So if somebody could throw an oil chart up for me, please. I think that would sort of highlight my thinking at the moment.
Oh, sorry.
Did I get the audience groaning?
That was me going, oil. I missed it. But look at it.
No, you
Oh
haven't.
my God, oil.
Daily chart.
Daily's
Daily
fine,
chart.
thank you, Paul.
Okay.
I can't manage a time frame less than that at the moment.
Okay, sure.
Right, so oil broke down, has now rallied back. Now it's a sell.
So it's just closed that, reclosed that previous gap as well, Julian, right?
Yeah. I'm
That's
sure it
been a
has.
spot for mine.
I'm sort of so how you play it from here, Paul, is whatever trading system we have.
Yeah.
Depending on how you trade, I would be on full alert for a short in oil from here. It's the seasonal time of year for oil to go down.
Sure.
It's broken down. It's rallied back. This is sort of what retracements are sort of all about. It just happens to be quite a big one, but that's to be expected because everybody got very excited when it first started to break down. I'm sure there's been a few shorts that have had to cover their positions back in. I still think unless we take out that final high of the red bar that you got there, which began the whole breakout move down. So there, thank you. You're short the stop loss above that.
Pierce, you're really good at this chart stuff. We should definitely keep you on for that. Thank you, Julian.
Just brilliant from the analyst there. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Paul.
It's not just the chart. It's not just the chart stuff. I kind of know what Julian's going to say next, kind of thing. It's a psychic link that we have, I think.
Mate, it's just amazing.
I wish.
We've gone from forecasting analysis now to people win.
No, there's no psychic link, unfortunately.
So that's my theme for the week, Paul. So when I think about this, I'm thinking about other markets that have done the same thing. Other key point I've got is the euro. It's time up.
You're
Okay.
right.
Okay, so it's time up for decision. What worries me, and here's the worry wart in me, is that I wonder if we need to have a fifth wave in the euro. So Paul knows what I mean by that, but because obviously he's psychic, but What I worry about is that we've gone sideways for too long, and it hasn't retraced, it hasn't come back, it hasn't corrected. If anything, thank you, Paul, it's a slightly upward sloping channel. I'm not sure, I wasn't here for your analysis on this. I am wondering at the back of my mind, not that I've got my dollar strength, US dollar strength thesis wrong, timing. And I wonder if the euro has to go to 125 very quickly. However, the good news is breaking Thursday's low would completely disprove that thesis, and I might want to be short then.
PH, could you do me a favor? Could you straighten those? Because I'm getting a little bit off center. Could you just straighten those parallel, orange parallel lines and give me a...
No, they are straight, Ainsley. What you've got to do is turn your head slightly sideways.
No, I can't.
It's not, but it's not a horizontal channel. It's actually a slightly uptrending channel.
I know, but I want to see.
You want to see this, do you? Do you want to see that?
Better. A little bit better. A little bit more. A little.
But there's no, I can't do that because there's no lows that justify. I can do this.
I know. Now I can hear you. Now I can see it. But yeah, I like it straight. It does my head in otherwise. But yeah,
I think we can safely say it's gone nowhere for 2 months. We can conclude that, can't we?
Yeah.
We didn't spend any time on it, Julian. I just opened up the chart and said this is about as boring as paint drying. So
no, oh my God, no. Yes, it is boring. Yes, you're dead right. It's entirely boring as watching paint dry, and I've had to do a bit of that recently. So and actually it is really boring. But the euro is not that boring. I feel that time is up. My worry is that we're into one of Ash's favourite chart patterns about to unfold.
What, a head and shoulders?
No, well, yeah. It's more Hunchback of Notre Dame, don't you think?
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
It's 3 Little Indians.
Hence the reason why I think Thursday's price action is critical. So right? And the reaction to it is absolutely critical. A close below Thursday's low, to me, would be catastrophic for the euro.
So Julian, if that's the breakout short, the close below Thursday, and that makes a lot of sense to me. There's been some buying down there, and you know that level looks like close below that we are going down. Do you have a level where we confirm we're going up?
No.
Okay.
Anywhere above that, probably.
So we're looking for really this close below Thursday, and then we can start and have a look at a target for the short size. That's certainly been all over.
It's a bit like Geoff said. It's so Geoff was saying that there are some bars which are pretty critical. That one in dollar yen, by the way, Geoff, you were dead right, and that's exactly the way that I was trading it as a result of that. I think we're in the same camp with the euro. I think Thursday's price action, which was the ECB, that was the ECB stuff, wasn't it? Oh, God help us. Lagarde saying yet again nothing. Do you know the most really disappointing central banker of the year prize will definitely go to Christine Lagarde. Let's just say opportunity wasted 18 times.
You were really looking forward to her, weren't you? You were really looking forward to her taking the reins, and she has failed, hasn't she?
I gave her way too well. Maybe there's a bit of politics involved.
Yeah,
but yeah.
No, she's being smart. Sorry, I think she's watching all the other rubbish going on, and she's playing it smart. She'll hit a stride soon. Don't you worry.
Look, I'm hoping so. Actually, I have faith in her.
We've had a team discussion on euro. We've had a team discussion on something else. We had a team discussion on pound. We had a team discussion on something else. I'm keen to get through what Julian wants to have a look at and move along, because we are doing live forex, and we've got the crypto guy waiting, the gold lady waiting, the oil lady waiting. Julian, you've gone oil short and you've gone euro short below Thursday's low. Nice and clear for mine. Both of these, nice and clear and tradable. What else are you having a look at for this week?
Well, there's the dollar yen as well too, Paul. I'm pretty negative on that, and I think probably that's so. Other interesting things that I think are happening out there is still some hint of a buyer in dollar CAD and a buyer in the Swissy.
Interesting, isn't it? It's, so what we're looking at a bit of a mixed US dollar week for you, Julian.
Yeah, it is actually, which is the reason why I'm sort of in a bit of a quandary about the direction.
Yeah, I get it.
So do quite like. I'm certain dollar CAD's going up, but I'm not. I'm becoming less certain by the day. And again, the pattern on the Swissy is the short term's probably better than the long term, but it's still pretty clear to me that maybe there's something else going on there too.
Fantastic. So dollar CAD again above Thursday's bar for the long PH for Julian.
Yeah, that sort of makes sense. I think I've got to have this proved otherwise, right? So it's I can't believe I'm saying this. I've had a couple of goes at dollar CAD and not really got it right. And so Thursday's bar is pretty critical to me. I think you could probably risk something even higher, even lower than that, I think. I think it depends. How about this? I'll rephrase. I think it depends where it opens tomorrow. If it opens lower, I probably want to be a buyer.
I'm a big fan of the thing that you were talking about, key bars, and we're looking at dollar CAD here.
Yep.
That bar that put us that buying bar that put us into this range looks pretty important to me. I love big decisive bars at the start of ranges when price stays inside the range of that bar. So the bar back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 about 10 days ago, PH.
Yeah, I see it. It's a low test bar, right?
No, I'm looking at the decisive buying bar back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The big green bar.
Okay, this one?
Seems a bit of the theme around that.
Or this
right?
one? This one.
The start of the range. And again, I really like to see decisive bars at the front of ranges. It always feels to me that the break of that decisive bar will give us direction. That's just always the way I've looked at. I love that particular pattern. So Julian, interesting time, interesting week ahead. I'm still feeling like Monday's a watching day. Do we need to see this shake out a little bit to get clearer?
Yeah, a little bit. I think so. And I think it really depends where the open is on Monday in quite a few of these markets. And I'll be looking at those and taking action as a result of it.
Right. Guys, I'd like to now open it up to all of you guys for some conversation on any of that. Any questions you've got, any comments on any of the stuff we've done with Julian. Let's run through it now. We've been through a bit more stuff with him. Anyone got anything to offer on it?
Yeah, I'll offer on oil very quickly. There were 3 reasons for that rally this week, and I was kicking myself because I was. But look at it; it's closed twice now on that 200 moving average, and there are 3 reasons. Hurricane Sally caused a lot of outages. 2, there was a drawdown in oil storage, so we saw a real pull up. So that was the first time in a long time that we've actually heard there's a drawdown on oil storage. Excellent news. And 3, I don't know who put this out there, but it was commented that there is a high compliance from the OPEC countries meeting quotas. Now, we know that won't last a while, but there you go. Well, boys were playing nicely in the sandpit, and we got that, and that's what caused that rally. So if everybody's going, we're looking for that sell-off, and we're waiting for that. We're waiting for that sell-off, but we saw that a huge spike up in. Well, I get it's not a huge spike, is it? But it's big in current terms, I guess. And that's the fundamental reasons for the uptake in oil.
Rightio. Okay. Anything else on Julian? Julian, anything else from you?
No, Paul, I'm done. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. It's always nice to have your guest in. It's always great when you turn up. And thank you very much for the mentorship stuff earlier on. Later in the show, I'm going to show you a broadcast record just because I love doing it. I'll need to log in for the other computer to do that. So I'll do that while somebody else is speaking. We go from Julian as our guest. We go to Shukri on crypto, Ainslie on gold, and Ping Ni on oil. Guys, what do we got? Shukri, what's happening? Shukri.
Okay, I'm ready.
You said Bitcoin would rally. Everyone else told me it wouldn't. I'm long Bitcoin. I'm pretty happy with the rally.
Yeah, it did, because like you said last week, it didn't pierce that CME gap. It's always that CME gap. Okay. So, but Paul, today is very different. Last week was actually a very huge week for cryptos. I think it was really the most exciting week since those bullish days of 2017, 2018. And this is what I say when you have to look at crypto as an infrastructure. Many people were making money last week, about 50,000 people, lots of money. Now, let me explain to you. So, but first, let's look at Bitcoin. And sometimes you have to read this, okay? It's really being stuck now at 11 here. It's like, it's 10,957. It went for a while above 11. It dipped back down. But there's a lot of resistance here between 11.2 and 11.4. And when Bitcoin goes in a range here, unlike other markets, see, we also trade cryptos. We love it when Bitcoin goes to a range. Because when Bitcoin goes to a range, the smaller coins tend to rally. Now, this is very important. So let's see coin market cap. So what happened is, okay, the market cap clearly went up. And the Bitcoin dominance, okay, 57 is not good. If it dips below 57, it's going to be very, very good for all coins. So what you see here is, again, this is good also. Ethereum, again, is struggling. You can't beat this 413 level yet. It's not even gone above 400. Struggling here. But what I want to show you, something is very interesting. Okay, let's go back to the day here. Because if we look at those bullish, okay, those bullish days of 2017, 2018, and there was one bullish spike in 2019 here. Look here. Ethereum has blasted past that, whereas here, Bitcoin has still failed to go beyond that, 13.8. See that? So again, if Bitcoin does break this 11.2 to 11.4, the next is 12. Once it clears 12, hello, 13.8 up here. That one. See that? That was in June 2019, but Ethereum has already broken it. Why? Because of DeFi. And last week was a huge week for DeFi. And this is what cryptos is all about. Okay, because last week, guess what? Santa Claus came to town. Santa Claus came to the crypto town unexpectedly. This looks like Geoff. Thanks, Geoff, because it looks like you. So look at this. Okay, now, see, when I say we're in crypto, you're actually in a matrix. You are part of a certain nation. And there is a new nation now. This is a new exchange, actually, Paul. It's a decentralized exchange. It's the main competitor to Binance now. It's called Uniswap. Okay, so look, I've been playing on Uniswap and all this, and we'll study what the implications for Geoff on Uniswap afterwards. So you see this hike in volume. You see what happened last week. Everyone who had used this account, and because it's decentralized, guys, you don't register here, okay? You connect a wallet to this account. That's why you have to come on Saturday. I mean, whatever it is, you just got to come, and I'll show you why. If you had connected on this, remember this name. His name is Hayden Adams. He gave out 400 uni to anyone who used this, okay? 400 uni was just dropped in your wallet, so you don't come to class on Saturday. Well, you don't know what a wallet is then. If something like this ever comes back again, you might not get it. Now, let's see the price of uni now. Let's go here to uni. Let's see what I'm talking about. Uniswap. Where's uni? Okay. Go. So uni now is at 567. 400 times 567 is over 2,000 US dollars. Let's look what uni went to. It went to like 14, but it was very hard to get out here because it went up and then went down. And then a lot of people were getting out at 7 or 8. I got out at 3 something, my bad. So if you had gotten out at 7, say you had gotten out at 7, you would have made 2,800 US dollars just for trying this out. 2,800 US dollars into your crypto wallet. That's why you must come to the class on Saturday, 26th, because if you don't know that, you aren't going to get any. Now, this is how crypto works. You might say, okay, do I have to use that a lot? Do I have to use that a little bit?
Sorry, Shuki, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Some guy gave you 500 of these things for doing what?
For just trying this out.
Because when you 2,000 US dollars for trying this out.
Yes, for trying this out, this exchange called Uniswap.
I'd try Julian out for $2,000.
I know, Paul. You just connect in here. Now, Geoff always tells me that he's slow, he's the grandfather, that crypto is too much for him. Now, Geoff.
I'm listening, as always.
Had you connected to this wallet, because they would have known that you had connected it, had you
Where was my phone call?
But you live in Tasmania, they don't have farms.
Yeah, that's right. And had you tried this out, and even if you had failed, Geoff, I mean, you had failed, right?
No, let's get this really clear, Shukri, right?
Yeah.
As far as we're concerned, you owe Geoff and I $2,000 each for not putting it in this.
Put it in here, right?
I was thinking about it.
Even if Geoff had failed, the 2,000 or 3,000 US dollars would have still been in Geoff's wallet. That's what it means.
Wouldn't stay there long, I can promise you.
Actually, I know you well enough. You would have stayed there a long time. Don't worry about that.
It's a wine day, right? It's a wine day. So this is the buzz, right? So Uniswap recaptures DeFi buzz with Uni tokens airdrop. That's what an airdrop is called, where a token or a coin. So it's like an IPO. It's basically their IPO last week. They released this, so they got listed. So all the coins of Uni here were dropped into the wallet. Had you used this Uniswap, 400 would have come. Now, here's the thing. Now, I didn't provide liquidity here, okay, because sometimes it's quite expensive, what they call the gas fees. But people who are providing liquidity now, to make it easy, people who are farmers here, look at what they were making. I'm going to move this down. See, a friend of mine who provided liquidity to Uniswap One for a long time received $500,000 USD airdrop. Look at that. Just times that by 5, that's like 600,000 US.
Sorry, when I said you asked a couple of $1,000s, I may have been wrong. You may have asked a little bit more than that.
Yeah, I know. So this is the thing in crypto. I think Geoff understands this because he was in a mining town, right? Everyone wants customers. So everyone is trying to motivate you to use their services because, Uniswap is actually funded by venture capitalists. So again, they had a venture-backed capital products, very famous venture, Andreessen Horowitz, Union Square,
Sorry, Shukri, I've got a couple of questions coming in about this. And look, we've got the full event on Saturday. There'll be for the Actions to Wealth Online Trading Profit clients. There's an email coming out tonight, which will include details of how to register for Shukri's course on Saturday. It'll also be posted all over the social media this week. It'll be on the Telegram. You guys should be in our Telegram. If you're on YouTube, click on the link, go to Telegram. If you're subscribed, if you liked our channels, if you joined our channels, we'll let you know all the details about how to get a day with Shukri on Saturday for Shukri. I've decided to change the price. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
And instead of $250 for the day, we're doing it for free, mate.
Sure. Yeah.
Day with you for free. Okay, it was always free, but it's worth it. It's worth more than that. I've got $1 million. Shukri, I've got to keep it in the next 30 seconds because we've got to move on. We've got Ainslie waiting on gold. We've got Pingney waiting on oil. We've got Geoff waiting on some technical stuff. It's been a great show. We've got lots more to come. Stay with us. We're doing Forex Trading Live.
Awesome. So guys, again, this is the second time it happened to me. Okay, the first time it happened to me, I got 1,500 US dollars of on. It didn't last for long. There's another one that's coming for me again, end of September. It's called Definity. So guys, get in. No wallet. You don't have a chance to get money. You have a wallet. Well,
are we getting into this on Saturday, Shukri?
We're going to create some wallets, yeah. But again, you don't know where the reward is going to come from. But once again, if you don't even know what wallet is you can't get your first wallet up. How can you get the rest of the wallets up?
That's brilliant. I was saying the other day that I think I've got at least 3 crypto wallets and they've all got money in them. I don't know the password to any of them.
You need more, Paul. We're going to create more for you.
Look, honestly, if you can put a couple of $1,000s a week into them, I'll get a few more, mate. Don't you worry about that. I'll find a way. I'm not so good at these things, but I will find a way. Shukri, is that us on crypto for today?
Yes, that's it.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. A pleasure as always. Ainslie on gold. Ainslie, is this damn thing going to break out? Are we going to go somewhere on gold finally?
I'm over it. Well, to be quite honest, having had no internet, no computer, and no screens for about the last 3.5 weeks because they've been packed in storage, and I've been moving house, and I only got internet back on Friday afternoon. It's probably been really good, but the problem for that is, guess what? It should have done a really big, strong rally, and we haven't had it. Paul, have you got a chart you can check up, please?
Yeah, I can. There's PH still around because he's good at this stuff,
PH, he's a legend on this.
Yeah.
I've really got to spend some more time on this crypto when I get myself sorted because I'm sure it all really makes sense.
Look, I think You're the only one that doesn't have a crypto expert in the family. Julian's son's into
I
crypto.
know.
Paul Hutton's son's into crypto. Isn't he, PH? Your son's into crypto, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lindsay's only, she's
But pretty much
turned
everybody
14,
under
maybe
40 is into crypto.
Yeah. So that means,
How old's yours?
Ainsley, that means you will be richer than your kids. For the rest, the kids will be richer than them.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Are you
can't
looking
have
for a gold
Oh,
chart?
look, gold.
All right.
XAU USD.
Yep. Oh no, not AU.
Thank you, Dan.
USD. Right.
Excellent.
Here's a gold chart. Weekly, daily.
Daily. Look at
There
that.
you go.
That's a boring as. Hello.
No, I'm not
Look
supposed to do that. Hang on a
Oh,
second.
what
Sorry.
did you do to me?
Okay,
I
there you
should
go.
never have asked you to straighten that channel. Hello. Look at that. Unfortunately, that looks like one of the things we were chatting about this afternoon, wasn't it, Paul? It's a symmetrical triangle. Hate it. I just hate it. There is no direction. There is nothing to go from. I really would like it. If you look at your seasonals, you should be looking at a strong upward move from middle of September. We haven't got it. We haven't got any of it.
It's
Even
interesting,
if
Ainsley,
it's
because
on a presidential year, nothing.
no, it's interesting, Ainsley, because normally if that happened, that would be a very bearish sign. And because we're so also bullish on gold, we're not sort of taking it that way, but really, that should be a really bearish sign.
It should be. It's symmetrical. We've got nothing. We've got really nothing to go on there. And you keep looking at the S&P, the Dow, and all the other influence. And as I said, that really, really clear. Even though dollar yen is looking like it was going to go sideways, going to go down, the correlation on these two guys is just broken down. You know, I'd even go from the bottom one, that bottom ridiculous doji there. PH? Yeah, thanks, Don.
I know what a ridiculous doji looks like.
You knew what I meant. Look at it.
Yeah.
Symmetrical. Does it get any more symmetrical? And, you know, as I said, we're talking about symmetrical triangles that are almost impossible to trade because they're going to go one way or the other. All we've got is people not knowing. You've got your bulls and your bears just collaborating in the fact that they don't know which way it's going to go. Now, we can look at all the reports that we see, and everybody's talking about all the big banks are saying this is going to 2,500 to 3,000 by the end of the year. That's great. That's December. There's a lot of other movements and a lot of other things, including a US election happening in that time. However, today, tomorrow, what's happening this coming week, I can't help you on this one at all. Not at all. I wish I could, but I can't. Look at that. A textbook symmetrical triangle. If I had an up, I would. I'd take it. But even that last bar, that last daily bar, inside bar, harami. If you're talking candlesticks, inside bar, talking Julian's language, going nowhere fast. So sorry about that, guys. I've really got nothing to tell you other than they must have known I was moving house.
That is okay. We would rather know the truth of it. We just need to wait. Right? The thing with gold, Ainsley, is that when you say you've got nothing to tell us, what you're telling us is to be patient, right? It'll come. We just got to wait for it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. I know we've thrown up lots of charts where we see nice little rectangles because it's pausing and then it goes one way or the other and it goes up and for the last wherever it's gone. Nice triangle, rectangle, and then it pops up and then it consolidates with it in a rectangle and it pops up.
You know, one of the good things about it, Ainsley, there is this theory, isn't there, that the length of the consolidation can be used to forecast the length of the next move. And
Absolutely.
if that's the case, gold goes, we're going to see a decent move on it, right? We're seeing new highs or a decent pullback. If this thing does that kind of distance, then we'll be pretty interested in it, right?
Yeah, I mean, if we see a break to the low side, see that lovely green line down there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon we'll be looking down around there. Hop, 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 hop. That's it. Yeah, in there, Paul.
I mean, by the time price got down to there, would be at the next horizontal level. I would imagine just a little bit higher than that. You know, it'd take a little while to get to it, but you know, that's you know. So what we're saying is that, you know, we're probably looking at you know, from mine even a bit higher than that pH. It'll take. Gold won't get down there. I wouldn't have thought. It does look like the target area to me, but I wouldn't have thought the gold's going to get down there for a couple of weeks, you know, and the 20-day moving average will be being dragged up the whole time. So, yep, that looks like it to me. So we're looking at either a pullback into that sort of area there, and I can't read the numbers online, I'm afraid, or we're looking for a breakout to the top.
Yeah.
We will.
If we have a break up to the top, then we're going to go with very, very high sentiment. So the high sentiment is that it goes to 2.5.
Okay.
By the end of the year. So let's see where it goes. And that's why I say, and we were talking about this only a couple of hours ago with symmetrical triangles. They're a dog to trade because you don't know which way they're going to break, and you have to have more information. So hang in there, guys. Yeah. And watch that oil chart, and that should, I'm sure Peng Ni's got something to say about oil.
Yeah, indeed. Oil, Peng Ni. Peng Ni's next up. Peng Ni, what do you got for us, mate? What's going to happen with oil?
Hi, hello. Can you hear me?
Can hear you just fine, mate. You going to share screen?
Yep. Right.
Peng Ni been you know, after 3 or 4 really good months, been a pretty just average couple of weeks for you, right? A little bit up, a little bit down at different times in the last couple of weeks, right?
Yep. I need a share screen, the permission to share screen, is it?
Sorry, mate. You should have that. You're co-host, so you should have it. But yeah, there you go. I think you got it now.
Yep.
It's
right. So you're able to see my screen right now?
You got it, mate. Yep.
All right. So yeah, there's a couple of good months. Before this, this month a bit down about 5% because of this huge drawback. So never mind. I will make it back slowly in the next few days or next few weeks. It doesn't matter. Okay. So for next week, I will be focusing on the bullish part of oil because as we can see from oil, when there's every significant pullback, there will be a stronger bullish back up. So I will be more staying focused on the bullish buyers. So right now, so for next week, I'll be trading around these two parts, about 160 pip ranging region. So for most likely, I will be focusing how does it interact with the Monday's daily pivot, which is at 41.13 most likely. So if there's a bounce on this pivot and the higher than across this part of the price, I will be looking to buy, and there's a stop loss at this area. So I will be aiming for a profit to the 43 region. Yeah, that's about it. That's what about it I want to say about oil.
Cheers, Peng Ni. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Let's talk currency strength with Lloyd. We're going to go to Lloyd now and do currency strength as we continue to do Forex Trading Live online. Been a great show. Lots of content, lots of stuff, lots of analysis, lots of differing views on different stuff as well. Lloyd, do you need me to make you something? No, it looks like you're okay.
I think Paul.
Hey, mate, how you doing?
Had a happy week last week. I think a few of my analysis did went my way, so yeah, rather happy guy.
We love happy weeks, mate. That is good to hear, mate. So you're going to talk about according to which is the strongest currency at the moment, right?
Yeah. So try to improve my chart. So according to color coding, so if it's green, I'm just going to be bullish about it. So Aussie, what I'm waiting for is for price to simply come down to the horizontal level, then giving me a bounce off before it strengthens again. I think that's rather straightforward. On the big picture, you can see that we all can see that price is rising. Yeah. So at this moment, until it breaks its structure, I have no point believing that it will be bearish. So this This is going to be my analysis. It has been so for the past 2 weeks. Now, yen took me a bit by surprise because simply it broke 95 level. I didn't expect it to break that hard. Yeah. So I think last week analysis was I do suspect that yen is continuing to be in a range. So it didn't, it break. Now after that, I did catch some of this move. So what happens next is that I do hope that yen give me a bit more retracement before I'll be looking for more yen long. Yeah, simple as that. So pound, you can see that. Yep.
Sorry, mate. I'm just doing a couple of things on Zoom. You've got a show starting with us on Mondays at 7:30.
Was it 7 or 7:30? One of the timing.
You'll be right. If you say it's 7, it'll be 7. I just don't have it in front of me. I'm actually literally logging into the other Zoom channel to have a look and check on the time for it, mate. But what's going to be in your show?
So during the show, well, Alexis might be joining me a few times. I'll be talking about my favorite topics, trading tools. Sounds a bit vague, but specifically indicators. Because I've been really spending a lot of time backtesting some of them and find them some interesting. And in some ways, I believe they are actually better for new learners to be using indicators to have objective entries into the markets. Yeah. So in a way, I do believe that they are kind of superior. On top of that, in the show, I'm trying to structure a way to talk about reversal trading. Yeah, just a bit to spice it up. Yeah.
Nice, mate. So we're 7:45 on Mondays for your show. It is called Optional Forex, and so we're going to try and have a look at you're quite creative in the way you look at the market. So there'll be some quite varied content in there at different times as you're looking at different things, right?
Yeah. So just looking at different things, given the different perspective about trading or investing as a whole. Definitely, I won't be doing too much of analysis. Yeah, because I think most other shows have already, ADW shows have already done it. So I shouldn't burden the viewers with more analysis.
That's really nice, Lionel. Lionel just saying that his wife and him really benefited from your last indicator stuff, Lloyd. Look, it is really useful. And again, what we want to do is we want to have different experts in the company in different areas, and you certainly have that area covered off for us. Nice, Lionel. I did some back testing on your stuff and found it to be correct. So from a currency strength point of view, Australia strong, yen strong, pound strong for you?
Yeah. So pound is at a good level now for me to actually put in any long positions, which I'll be looking forward to next week.
Yep.
CAT. So CAT, I'm also cautiously bullish about it. Yeah, so I'm not really as bullish compared to the first three pairs, just cautiously bullish about it simply because the structure is still really, really nice uptrend. And we do get that price is on a short-term horizontal level at the moment. Yeah. So that's the reason why I'm bullish about it. Now, when it comes to euro, so it becomes a white line. So that means I'm still ranging about it. Yeah, I have no direction about euro.
Mate, you've got New Zealand as the weakest, haven't you?
New Zealand? No, dollar's the weakest, not Kiwi.
Oh, yeah. New Zealand's had a really big week, mate. I'm surprised it started down that far.
I'll show you later. Yeah. Okay. So Swiss franc is still dancing about 110, so I don't have any bias about it at the moment. So the reason why I'm bearish about Kiwi is because of this level. So you can see from the past, from July 19th, last year, July, all the way now, price seems to have difficulty breaking this level. So that's actually the primary reason why I think Kiwi might be a bit bearish for the upcoming week. Yeah.
No,
so at the moment,
I'm with you too. I think. I think it's been strong. I could see the Kiwi selling this week, so I am with you. No worries at all. Sorry, mate, I can just see the dog going off upstairs. Just going to make sure the wife's okay. Send her a message. She'll reply. Cheers, mate. Okay, and you've got dollar week.
Yeah, dollar is still the usual suspect for weakness. Again, it has been on a huge sell-off since back in April. So until it breaks the consolidation at the moment, it has been hugging this level for a good 4 weeks already.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I believe DXY is still going to be my weakest pair overall.
Cheers, so, mate. I like that. Thank you very much, mate. That is nice stuff. Nice and clear for currency strength from Lloyd. Thank you very much, mate. We really look forward to seeing your show start tomorrow night at 7:45. I think being Mondays, we might have Shukri in at 7, you in at 7:45, Ash and Geoff in at 8:30. It's a pretty good night of, if you want to follow some Forex trading, get some free free information. It's a pretty useful night. Tuesday, we've got tea and hot sauce. This week, tea and hot sauce moved to Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And on Thursday night, I'll be launching a new show called Your Experts, and I'll be having different experts come in and talk about different aspects of trading each week. We've got Shukri in this Thursday. It'll be an addition every Thursday for about an hour 20 each week. Right, let's get into some. Thank you very much, Lloyd. Oh, Lloyd, talk to me about the VIX.
VIX. Okay, that'll be a 5-minute. I'll try to do a quick one.
Okay.
So today I had lunch on my own, so I was thinking about some data. So what I had found is that during US presidential election, which happens in November, my theory is that since year 2000 onwards, retail traders has been jumping in on the synth, and usually for institutional, they might stay up. So my idea is that the stupid money, which is the retail traders, sorry I said that, should be getting interested into the volatility index, VIX. So I did some backtesting, not that comprehensive, but enough data to say that on the first week of October, whatever price that might be, if we get it in and just aim for $5 profits, it has been consistently profitable since year 2000.
Tell us again, Lloyd. If you do what?
So if you get in at the first week of October for VIX and aim for $5 profits, you'll be consistently profitable for the past 5 entries.
Buying or selling?
Just long.
Long. Okay.
Yeah, just long. Yeah. So and the key thing is don't trade through the election period. Just aim for $5 profits, whichever price is at then at the first week of October. So you can see that this one was at $20. So once price rise about 25, this was a sure hit. In fact, this only lasted only 1 day. Pretty fast one.
Okay.
1 week, sorry. Yeah. So the reason why I choose year 2000 onwards is because that's where retail traders start to get more active in the market. We are able to trade from our home. Yeah. So it seems that this is quite positive for me. Yeah. So this is something that I share with you.
Nice, man. I do like it. Okay. Thank you very much, Lloyd. As always, much appreciated. Going to go to Geoff and talk technicals right now. We've boy, it's nice to have everyone in the room. Nice and busy show. Lots of content tonight. Boy, it does feel busy when everybody comes in. It's nice to have everybody on board today, and nice to have Paul in as our guest. Looks like he's done a really nice job. Geoff, what are you looking at this week? Lots of ranges, mate. I thought you'd still be pretty happy.
Yeah, I am. No real issues. Hang on, I hope I've got my microphone open. I should have.
Yep, you're okay. Yep.
But as you know, the control panel has just gone missing for the moment.
Oh, it does. Man.
There we go. It's back. Look, there are some nice ranges, and I hope to take advantage of some of those. We've already pointed out a few of them, but I've kind of got a theme about the week, and we had a theme about last week, which was going to be all about yen strength. And we had to wait quite some time, to be honest, but eventually it came good and we got into a few of those and still are. So that's going fine. This week is a little bit of a change up, but same theme. And the theme is Euro short this week. I've got a little thing about the Euro, but it's all come arse about with this chart. I want to go short Euro CAD, Euro pound. We'll get to those. But I want to go long Euro Aussie. And I know that's a little bit of a contradiction, but it seems to me, or it appears to me, and this is going to be the theme, of course, we're coming off big levels. And I think the big level on Euro Aussie is around about 161. We've already visited that. And we are unable to close above this trend line, which is coincidental, or a convergence, if you like, with the horizontal level, which is about 161, as I said. So I think there's a little bit of upside here. I don't know how much, to be honest, and I don't think I want to trade this forever, but I can definitely see a few hundred pips available to us as a bounce off that level. So I'll be looking for that pretty much early in the week. I don't know that there's a trade there at the moment, but you can see that we've gone into a little bit of consolidation on the weekly chart. I get all of that. When you come back to this chart, you can see the range that we've been in forever, like this year, I mean. The whole of 2020 has been spent inside this range, apart from that big spike, which of course is COVID-19 when it was first introduced to the world. And since then, and that's the only time we've been out of that range. So I don't see why that should change. And if I go back to the smaller timeframes, which will coincide with this bounce back into that smaller time frame range, which is evident on a 4-hour chart, all I need to see really is a significant higher low here. I haven't put in my weekly pivots for next week, so I really don't know whether they're going to be. I would imagine they will probably be around about here. So a little bit of a retest of well, a test, if you like, of the weekly pivot would suit along here. So that's my key play on Euro Aussie for the next few days. It will be long taking on the pivots here, back to the top of that range around about 163 mark. So there's not a whole lot available to us, maybe 150 pips, something like that. But I think that's pretty clear. Well, certainly in my mind, it's pretty clear that we are in bounce period. We're in a buy zone. And if you come inside those ranges that we're looking at, yep, I totally see that one going to the top around about the 1.63 mark, as I said. EuroCAD, continuing the theme is, well, the theme is quite different in terms of direction, but I just can't get this out of my head. And that's not necessarily a good thing as a trader, but it's totally reliant on this level here, which just cannot be broken. It's a bit of a cloud of a price, I've got to say that, to be honest, but I just can't see why we would now suddenly break above that level where we haven't been able to do so since we got below it back in 2010. And again, global financial crisis sent this down to the 124 mark. And since then, we've had a bit of a struggle, you would have to say, but continuously higher highs and higher lows on the monthly chart until we got to this level, surprise, surprise, which is about 140 or 159.50. And since then, we haven't been able to break it. And I don't see why EuroCAD, I think about that for 2 seconds and say, why would that break this level now? What's in play here? No, don't get it. So, okay, logical process comes into play here, and I get, well, okay, it's not going to. So let's go short. That's the whole process that's going on in my head. So all I need to do is find a way to get into that. Sorry. The weekly chart is a little bit on the confusing side because, as I've said for the last, I don't know how long, those of you in my group must be sick of me saying it, but I really saw a Batman mask here, and I saw this falling out of the sky pretty quickly, coming down to this level here around about the 142 mark. Hasn't done it, and that's and I heard Julian say earlier, which kind of tweaked it in my head. Why hasn't it? What's stopping it? And the euro is similar. You know, why hasn't it? Why hasn't it crashed? What's holding it up? And I can't answer that question honestly. But I still see the technical level, and I still see that big double top here, which is dominant on the chart. There's no question in my mind that that is the case. And there's still no question in my mind. And whilst ever that remains the case, I will still be looking for shorts here. And you can see the monthly pivot. What have we got? Another week to go in the month. You can see the monthly pivot has held price up for the longest time. And again, you have to ask yourself the question, well, okay, it hasn't been able to get above it, but why hasn't it bounced off it? And you go, oh, yeah, okay. But then you go back to here and you see, well, that's just so dominant, I can't believe it. Sorry, you can do what you like, but I've got to be looking for shorts here based on that rejection of what 159.50 or whatever it is. So I'm still looking for shorts here. I think we've been in this trade about 6 times, and we've made a little bit of money, but only a little bit of money, because it won't run away from us. It just will not follow through. So this week, same old, same old. I'll be looking for price to come down off these highs and give us a lower high. And if it does that, then we'll trade it again. And away we shall go for the 8th time or something like that. But I'm looking to pick up something substantial here. You know, if we can actually get into this move and it does go to where I think it can go, geez, there's a whole lot of pips available here. So that's the theory, and I think every single week for the last however long I've been sproking this, and that won't change until we get above that black line. And I'm not saying it can't go there now, of course, and I'm not saying trade this on an hourly chart. What I am saying is over time, in my mind, this has to go down to here. It has to, from a technical perspective. So, as I say, that doesn't mean trade it now. Don't sell it right now. It's not the time. You've got to have a reason. You've got to have your system in place. You've got to have a reason to take the trade. And at the moment, it's just probably not there. Now, Euro Pound, very interested to hear what PH was saying about Euro Pound, and I totally agree with what he said. The one thing that that really gets me, however, and it's exactly the same level that he was talking about. You know, we're in here, haven't been here for the longest time, and now we're challenging that level again. But going back to exactly the same process that I used with Euro CAD, Euro Aussie, I don't see why now is the time that this would break that level. So I just don't understand what forces are in play that could make this go back to, hang on, how long have we got to go back? To go back to 2008, which was, again, global financial crisis, extenuating circumstances taking place here. So I've got to ask myself the question, why now? What's changed so much that this level is not going to hold? And for that reason, I'm still thinking it has to go short. And again, I'm on the monthly chart here. That doesn't mean you go and sell it tomorrow morning. What it does mean to me is I continue to look for a reason, and that will come in a reversal pattern or lower highs or lower lows and lower highs or whatever the case may be. So I'm looking for a lower high here right now off this high. And if I do see that, and in particular, if I've got a trend line or a trade line, as I call my little trading lines, then that's exactly the way I will go. Totally see PH's point, and that close above the weekly pivot may mean that price is going to here. And I don't have an argument with that at all. But if it doesn't, and I do get the lower high that I'm looking for, then I'm short here pretty quickly. For, I think, I'm not sure how many times I've traded this short in the last little bit either. But going again with the theme, and there have been a few talking about this one as well, and I feel like I'm repeating what has been talked about before, but I can't see Kiwi US dollar. And as I said before, I'm not happy to trade against the US or with the US dollar at the moment, because I think it's a dog. I think it's just a ridiculous. No, I won't go on with that. I think it's a very difficult currency to trade with or against at the moment, because really it's doing what it should be doing, in my humble opinion, and that's falling. But it also should rally, and that's what it's not doing. Yes, we're in consolidation at the moment, but it's really not doing what I expect a technical currency should do. It should be bouncing, it should be going, it should be rallying, and it's not. It just can't do it. So anyway, that's why I call it a dog at the moment. But I still think over time it's gone to the races. So anyway, the way I look at this is very much in the same vein. We are at a very, very strong resistance level. Everyone's telling me that the Kiwi interest rate will fall to 0. I don't see why that would make the currency rally. But again, it's dependent on what the US dollar is going to do as well. But I see this as a sell zone, and I can't get away from that. I think this is a good sell coming into the week. And again, all I'm looking for here is a little bit of bounce. Any time frame, doesn't matter what it is. Well, okay, not 30 seconds or not a minute or not even 30 minutes, but something substantial here. If we get a nice lower high, in particular, and again, I'm not sure where the weekly pivot's going to be. It will probably be in around about this position. If we got below that and retested the side of it, then I think that's a sell. Any lower high here, I think, is a sell anyway. But if you, in particular, if you break this big trend line that's going up here, break that, get underneath the monthly pivot in the next couple of days and retest it, put in the lower high, gee, I reckon that's a good sell. Kiwi US dollar. You'd probably have to do you'd probably have to do it before the announcement, Paul, and that's kind of going to be the aim. If we can get into that and be free trading come announcement time, then I think we'd be in a pretty good spot.
One thing about it, Geoff, there'll be no interest rate cuts on this week because the banks don't have the facility to do it. So what we're looking for is a stronger commitment to the fact it's coming from the Reserve Bank in the statement. They won't be a rate cut in New Zealand on Wednesday morning, but the statement will be pretty bearish, I think. Boy, they put out some economic information in New Zealand this week, and I always feel like New Zealand's a little bit ahead of the curve to most other countries because we have done better with coronavirus than most other countries.
You're not biased, but yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Look, we came out of that first lockdown, and boy, everything looked good. Everyone's spending money, and our housing markets, it's off the planet high. My house price, my God, it's insane. But some economic numbers came out this week. 12.5% drop in GDP. There's certainly some stress on unemployment. Again, New Zealand's followed a lot of international countries now and having an unemployment system, which means unemployment's not actually reported, which makes us a bit difficult at this time. If your household earns more than $35,000, you're not eligible.
Yeah, hearing all that doesn't discourage me, that's for sure. If it's anything like Australia, if you work for 1 hour a week, you're counted as employed. Hello.
Yeah, look, honestly.
So what are the real numbers?
What are the real numbers? Yeah, that's exactly it. So any family that earns over 35,000 no one in the family can claim unemployment in New Zealand. So if your wife's got a job or your husband's got a job and you lose yours, according to the government, you're not employed. I don't speak government, I'm pleased to say. Mate, is that you for today? Are we on the Kiwi? Got one more.
It's called spin. No, yeah, I'm done, mate. That's my fall. Yeah.
Mate, I'm going to
bearish the euro and bearish the Kiwi. There you go.
Bearish the euro, bearish the Kiwi. So long the US dollar.
I
just thought I'd throw that in for
very reserved on that one.
I was going to show you guys just going to try and set this up again now because Zoom is doing the Zoom thing again. Look, I know that people who it's really easy to Zoom's amazing. Zoom is amazing. It's just that Zoom is also terribly, terribly difficult to deal with at times. I'm going to come over here and share a screen. And from there, I'm going to see if I can go in again and whether it'll now give me the page that I'm looking for. It just seems absolutely determined that I can't have that. No, it just won't go to there. Is that what it is? Is that what I need to do there? Then I can go there. Then I can share this. Guys, I thought I'd share this with you guys. This is the track record for Julian's broadcast group. And this is the last 12 months here. He's up 4,703 pips. 3,572 for the year, and you can see month by month what he's done. September last year, October he lost 50 odd. I really like this part. He's had 2 negative months, both under 70 pips, and pretty good run. August, September. This September sort of built a little bit, I guess, but some pretty amazing numbers. When you start going down here and start hearing, 800, 160, 350, 300, 280, 1400, 1900. A couple of losing months. I think that's just adds to the honesty of it. And all of this is all trades recorded. And 2019 up 3,000 pips. And again, And what we're saying is 2019, 2020, he's had 4 losing months, which I think is really reasonable. He's got a 63% winning average. And he's had 1 month where he's lost more than 100 pips. He's had 1 month where he's lost more than 70 pips. All the rest have been big winners. You know, so you're talking about year-to-date 2020, 3,572. 2019 was 3,000 pips. So he's basically running at an average of over 3,000 pips a year with tiny drawdown, sensational stuff. We've just done a bit of a deal for the mentorship students on it. And look, I don't want to sell it on YouTube. I find it funny when I read people online having a crack at some of the stuff saying they had a losing month. It's like, that's because it's a trader, guys. Everyone has a losing month. You know, every single trader has a losing month at some point. But still a pretty impressive record, and I thought I would share it and put it on YouTube, Actions to Wealth Facebook, Online Trading Profits Facebook, Twitter, to the 70,000 people subscribed there. Some of them will see that as well. I wouldn't mind some people seeing these numbers and getting them out there because they're pretty amazing, if you ask me.
Sorry, Paul, just quickly, can I just jump in there? How lucky are we to have Julian available to us?
Oh, honestly, Angie, I don't think people understand. You know, it's a 30-year veteran. And again, I don't mean to be disrespectful to other people, but, you know, not a 30-year veteran of trading at home, a 30-year veteran of trading large amounts of invested money around the world across a large number of different markets and, you know, providing returns for all of them, in fact. And I haven't actually asked him this, but I could be wrong, but Julian might be the only trader I've ever met that's never been fired.
Look, the other thing he's done, I think
it's incredible, his record.
It's incredible record, but he put electricity options on the board to trade. Not everybody gets to put a commodity on the board to trade.
Yeah, look, I think again, actually, we need to be careful what we say without checking with him on his professional stuff. But you know, his record just stands on its own, and
exactly.
You know, we are incredibly lucky to have someone like that you know, not only helps out but loves it. And you know, when we ask him to do something, the first thing he always asks me is, you know, what do they need? How do we help them the most? He doesn't, you know, it's not, can I find a photocopy of last year's thing and make 3 changes to it? It's like, you know, how do I design something new that'll help these people? And I think we are incredibly lucky to have him in the organisation, which again is now on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We will have Orlando cut this one out tomorrow and call it, you know, broadcast group, and make it its own thumbnail on YouTube so people can have a look at this. And as I said, this isn't done by me. This is recorded by one of our clients who's in the group. Every trade for the period. There's the record. Well, I'll tell you what. Honestly, Ainsley, I'd put that up against. What's more, we if you look at the bottom here, pips gained for reduced positions are calculated at corresponding. So if we take a half risk trade, we lock it in at half because that's the honest truth. And gold trades are traded at 10 cents per pip instead of 1 cent per pip. If we actually did Julian's record at 1 cent per pip on gold, I reckon you would add another 4,000 or 5,000 pips to that. His record on gold going both ways is amazing. You know, it's stunning. We are very, very lucky. And while I'm talking about being very, very lucky, I will take the chance. I'm going to come back onto this computer here, share a screen for a second, and guys, it's a big week ahead, and forgive me if I get my details wrong, but I'm pretty sure we got Shukri in at 7 o'clock on Monday and Wednesday. We've got Lloyd in at 7:45 on Monday. We've got Tea and Hot Sauce Tuesday, Wednesday at 7:45. 8:30, we've got Ash and Geoff on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And on Thursday at 7 o'clock, my new show starts where we're going to talk about to different experts about the market and stuff coming up. We've got Shukri into the crypto as we build into his free course on Saturday. I expect Shukri's crypto course to be the biggest ever singly attended event in our company's history. And it's open to outsiders. It's not only company only. If you want to get in and learn about crypto and get a wallet opened up, you can subscribe to that. There'll be stuff on all the social media during the week. We've also got the flow with Mikey on Monday as part of the online trading profit pathway. That'll be a big day for those guys. That's the strategy that Richard's traded and had so much success with. So we've got Shukri Saturday. We've got the flow on Sunday, and a big week of education stuff. I'll be back after Thursday. I'll be back on Sunday to quietly see if I can host the show and take the team through another week. I do like shows when everyone turns up, the whole team's available. We did cover for Alexis at the start, but we had most of the team in busy today. Fun show too, one of the ones I've enjoyed the most. So to the team, thank you for being amazing. And to those of you that have joined, I only have one request of you guys. Hope you've enjoyed it a lot, but what I'd ask you to do is see if you can use that information to make $1 out of it. That's what it's all about, really. That'll make everybody feel it's worthwhile. So thanks, everyone. See you guys next week. See yous.
Bye, everyone.
Hooroo.
I'll be in team chit chat if anyone wants to chit chat in about 5 minutes. Cheers, John. Thanks for the feedback. Cheers, guys.